Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Rahini. Literally the first comment I see from Rahini is Anne on a date. No, I was not on a date. I was wrestling with the internet cords. That's what was happening. Sorry, folks. No, I'm not on a date. Sorry. I have a date tomorrow, though. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. Baron was on, thank goodness. So I hope you are over there being entertained. I do apologize. Right, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, everyone. And I am taking calls today, so you can join the live if you want. And I don't really have a lot to say, so we'll get to the live calls pretty quickly. Hi, Cinderella. Thanks for waiting. Hi, Angela. Hi, Fancy Fancy. Dancing and twerking in the chat. We love to see it. Hi, Valerie. Oh, I'm so happy it's Friday. And don't forget, Harry's event is tomorrow. If you haven't bought the ticket, please do. I still have to get mine, but I'm going to do that straight after the live. So please make sure that you get your ticket, please. FYI, I did email that person that I wanted to email regarding doing a collab with the squad. So please do pray and hope that he doesn't find that article about um from Dan Wooten calling the squad psychotic. We really are nice, we swear. The British tabloid press are just liars. But I think it would be a really, really nice collaboration if they said yes. So let's see how that goes, and please do pray. Right, let's get straight to it. That is me, by the way, on Carnival Day in Lisbon, and my proudest moment in the squad so far being blocked by Piers Morgan. Truly, that was a glorious day. Right, first things first. Charles is going to go visit France and Germany for his first state visit. I'm sure the kids in the crowds are going to go wild. Is anybody from France and Germany? Are you excited about this? Is this something that people in France and Germany are excited about? The last I checked, didn't the French chop the heads off all of their royals, and Germany doesn't even have a monarchy? So I don't know why they picked Germany and France. I would have maybe thought, are Germany and France in the Commonwealth? I don't know. But Huffington Post is saying the visit will celebrate the UK's relationship with France and Germany, marking our shared histories, culture, and values, the palace said. So this is from the palace. It is also a chance to look forward and show the many ways our countries are working in partnership, whether that be to tackle climate change, respond to the conflict in Ukraine, seize trade and investment opportunities, or share the best of our arts and culture. Right after we left the EU. Highlighting the significance of this trip is the fact that it will be the first state visit by a British monarch since 2015. The late Queen, Charles's mother, stopped traveling abroad in her later years. So there you have it. Charles is going to go on his first state visit, so a lot to look forward to. Do I still have that video? Do you know what I think I did? I think I deleted it, didn't I? You know the one where Charles is sitting, signing his king thing, and then he's shooing away the butler. I mean, that is literally how we started King Charles's reign. Going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. Oh yes, that is actually a very good point, Miss P Talks. I didn't think about that. The Invictus Games is in Dusseldorf. Fair, Germany and France are not in the Commonwealth. Please do not throw any tampons. That is a waste of tampons. Don't throw eggs either, because apparently we've run out of those. Yeah, Germany used to have a monarchy. Noreen, I'm from France and I'm not interested at all. I don't give AF. Well, there's so much going on right now that I just don't think that it's necessary for Charles to make state visits to these countries. I think that we need to be focusing on other issues. I don't see how this adds to anything. It just seems like we're spending a lot of money to send him overseas for these big tours. So obviously, nobody in the palace has kind of taken a step back and gone, do you know what? Maybe it doesn't look good given everything that's happening with the economy in the UK and also abroad, around the world, really, to be doing these big extravagant tours. What purpose do they serve? What impact do they create? Great. On to the next thing. They're looking at giving stylish and quirky, I don't know if I'd describe them as that, stylish and quirky books to teach the children about King Charles ahead of the coronation. Now, they did a similar thing with the Queen's funeral. They were going to give out books, and that didn't go down too well. There were politicians saying that the money should be spent elsewhere because the money that was going to be spent to make those books, I think it was something in the region of, was it 12 million? To print books about the queen and the queen's funeral and give to children, and people were saying, well, families are suffering, couldn't that money go towards something better? This, though, I think is being done by a publisher. It's not coming from the government's education grant. So it's Little People Big Dreams, which is like a series, and they're going to do Charles's journey from Little Prince to Grown Up King. So they're going to showcase how he waited 73 years to wear his mummy's big fluffy hat with the jewels in it. That should be interesting for the kids. And yeah, Prince Andrew apparently could be plotting a new life in America without his titles. Now, I haven't heard any suggestion that he would be stripped of his titles, and I don't know what type of career he would have, because I actually do think that the American public have been a lot more critical of Andrew than the British public have been. I don't think he's going to be accepted over there in the way that he's kind of been able to just get on with things in the UK. He took part in the Queen's funeral. Nobody really had an issue with it. There was no protest about it. I don't see what interest Americans would have in him, because the only thing that they really do know about Andrew is his involvement with Epstein. But that is that. This came out today. There was a report that showed the Mi5 missed significant opportunities to prevent the Manchester Arena bombing. And I wanted to read some of this because I think it's quite interesting. Obviously, there is still a court case pending regarding Harry's security. And this just shows how things do slip through the net. And even if Harry was allowed to pay for private armed security, which he is allowed to do, there's no real reason why they're blocking him. One has to wonder still how safe him and Meghan would be, because he's still trusting in the MI5 officers to keep him safe, and we know that things do slip through the net. So actually, do you know what? I'm not going to read the whole report. I think I'll put the link in the chat because it's actually quite distressing. But I just wanted to point that out because we're still waiting for the results of that court case and whatever is going on with the Privy Council, and it just doesn't. It's very uncomfortable to know that they could allow something like this to happen when there were so many things that could have been prevented. And I just think that there's nobody in the UK that Harry and Meghan can really trust. Right, I'll go to your comments before we continue. Black Queen, I hope France share how the King and Queen lost their knock-ins in France for letting the peasants eat cake. Oh, doesn't it just show how tone deaf the courtiers are? Victoria, you said, I live in Hamburg. They will be here on March 31st. Hey, do you want to give some on-the-ground reporting then? Rahini, Charles wants a free vacation. There could be that also. Gail Lewis, you said, I've only ever followed people on Twitter and don't put out tweets. And I'm blocked by Piers Morgan. Really? No way. Do you know what? It might be because of who it is that you're following. If you're following squaddies, maybe that's why he blocked you. That's really weird though. Miss P talks. Perhaps they should give the UK British kids the history about Charlie and Camilla. They could just watch The Crown. Rachel, you don't want Andrew. Maybe the FBI do though. Maybe the FBI do. Yeah, Levine, don't the FBI want to speak to Andrew? It would be the worst place for him to go. Adrian, does Gloria already know Andrew's coming to America? She'll meet him at the border. Oh my god. Oh, you guys kill me. Oh, okay, on to the next thing. Simon Case. Simon Case is back in the news, and for all the wrong reasons. So there are tens of thousands of leaked text messages that have come out between government ministers. A lot of them from Matt Hancock, who was the health secretary during the Mr. C pandemic. I don't know if we still get censored if we say the word, so I'm just going to say Mr. C pandemic. And it was a very controversial choice to have him as the health secretary because he has zero experience in health at all. I don't even think that Matt Hancock can do first aid, and yeah, he has no qualifications in health, epidemiology, or anything regarding matters of health. So it was controversial in the first place to put him in that position. Also, if you didn't know, Matt Hancock was also the culture secretary many years ago, and he was one of the politicians in government at the time that was responsible for the Leveson 2 inquiry being cancelled. So Leveson 1 was the inquiry into phone hacking, and Leveson 2 was meant to specifically look at the police's role in phone hacking, and Hancock saw to it that that was cancelled. So just give you an idea of who this man is. And so there were several text messages leaked, and some of those text messages were to Simon Case. And they were basically mocking holidaymakers who had to go into quarantine during the Mr. C pandemic when they were isolating upon returning to the UK. And one of the things we learned throughout this whole pandemic was that politicians and governments were making up rules and were not following them themselves. There was the whole controversy about the parties that were thrown at Christmas when people couldn't see their families and loved ones. And now we had these text messages. So Matt Hancock said, we're giving big families all the sweets and putting pop stars in the box rooms. So they're basically mocking the whole thing. And then Simon Case responds by saying, I just want to see some of the faces of people coming out of first class and into a Premier Inn shoebox. And then he goes on to say, any idea how many people we locked up in hotels yesterday? Hancock responds by saying, none. But 149 chose to enter the country and are now in quarantine hotels due to their own free will. Simon Case responded by saying, hilarious. This is how politicians were talking about this whole situation. Like, this is actually wild. They were making a mockery of the whole thing. And Simon Case, to link it back to the royals, was the man that Prince William chose to mentor him and be his PR spin doctor. And he wasn't in the job for too long. I guess Simon Case wanted none of that. he took he took one step in the palace. I took a look around and was like, nope, I'm going straight back. I would rather be. Simon Case literally said, I would rather be in the cesspit of Westminster than the cesspit of Buckingham Palace. That's how bad apparently things were. Simon Case was also the one who was responsible for that infamous empty plane stunt. Remember the Flyby stunt? That was Simon Case. And for the okay, I guess I need to explain it for those of you who maybe don't remember. So basically, they wanted to make it look like the royals fly commercial. So they flew 2 empty jets, commercial jets, to go and pick up William and Kate in an effort to show that they're being environmentally friendly. So that's what that was about. But that is the individual that William picked to be his spin doctor. Does anybody know, by the way, because I've been looking for information and I haven't seen anything, is Lee Thompson still part of the PR team? We saw him at the Queen's funeral, and then we really haven't seen anything of him since. I haven't seen any of the Rota writing about him. We heard about the new lady that Catherine has brought in, but it's like Lee Thompson has just disappeared somewhere. And so has Jason Knopf. Haven't heard anything from him since the Netflix documentary. They seem to be laying low for some reason. Right, I'm going to go to your comments before we go to the last thing regarding the Daily Fail. Marcia Ware, doesn't Andrew have diplomatic immunity? Well, if he did, I think he seems to be scared that it's not going to hold up if he went to the US. Yes, I do think that Charles and William are jealous of the Invictus Games. I don't think they ever thought that it would become as big as it has. H Knight, the problem is no matter who they hire, they don't have anything to work with. That is true. Oh, Valerie, Simon Case knew that Liz Truss's phone was hacked for a whole year when he was so I haven't really read too much into this, all of the text messages. So I'll get back to you when I've read a little bit more, but that's quite interesting. Thanks for mentioning that, Valerie. Right, last thing before we jump off here, the Daily Fail. So, the Daily Mail is announcing redundancy plans as its print readership declines. The Daily Mail has announced plans to make some of its journalist jobs redundant as the newspaper struggles with declining print readership and the increased cost of paper. I mean, how much more is the cost of paper nowadays? The newspaper's editor, Ted Verity, said his plan would lead to staff working across the print Mail and its sister title, the Mail on Sunday and Mail Online. So it's not just the print, it's the online as well. The newspaper's parent company, Daily Mail and General Trust, was taken private by its controlling shareholder, Lord Rothermere, in 2022, and is now entirely owned by an offshore family trust. The newspaper group is also facing the cost of legal cases from notable individuals, including Prince Harry, Elton John, and Doreen Lawrence, over allegations of illegal reporting tactics. Lawyers for the Mail's parent company have so far managed to avoid the claims being reported in open court, although a hearing on the case is due at the end of March. And to that, the only thing I have to say is I mean, what else is there to say? The Daily Mail has been one of the no, they have been the leader. They have been the leader in the bullying of Meghan in particular. Both Harry and Meghan, but Meghan in particular. We all remember the headline straight out of Compton. And actually, I think many people who were following the Sussexes at the time, when they saw that headline, it's like you knew that things were just going to go down from then on. So I actually think that most of the redundancies are more to do with the legal costs, actually, more than anything. And I do think by the time all of the court cases are finished, from the phone hacking and also this court case being brought forward by Harry and Elton and Dorian Lawrence and others, I think the Daily Mail is going to be finished, because it's not just hacking. There's other things in there. There's stalking. There's illegal tracking. There is eavesdropping. They were putting recording devices in people's houses. They were burglarizing people. There's a lot of very serious allegations against the Daily Mail. It's not just phone hacking, and I think a lot is going to come out. And not only will they have to pay up payouts to all of the victims, but likely also pay for their legal costs as well. And I don't think they're going to be able to survive that. So, Rothermere, you better buckle up. It's going to be an interesting year, both for Rothermere and I think for Murdoch. Murdoch has always been like the boogeyman of UK media, but Rothermere has somehow managed to actually evade criticism completely, until Meghan mentioned him in her statement when she won her court case, where they illegally published her letter to her father. So there you have it. If you ask me, I think the Daily Mail have brought this on themselves. They are really just a nasty piece of work. They print lies. If you actually go back to my very earlier videos, go all the way back, I did a whole video where I actually illustrated how I planted a fake article about the Daily Mail about myself. Now, that was all very funny. Nobody was hurt by any of that. It was hilarious for me. And I got free PR for that crappy book that I wrote years ago. But they ruin people's lives. It's not just celebrities, even normal everyday people can get caught up in the Daily Mail shenanigans. And so I just feel that this was a long time coming. When you are as powerful as a media giant or like the Daily Mail, you have a responsibility to to be as truthful as possible. And I think a lot of these tabloids in the UK, they just focus on celebrity scandal and being salacious and not actually informing people. So I think it's time for them to go. Yes, Days of CC. God don't like ugly, indeed. Lottie, when do they go to court? I think it will probably be sometime this year. It can't be too long now. The Daily Mail did try to stop this court case, but the judge said hell to the no. They tried to drag it on a little bit, but it's going ahead. Adrian, didn't Harry win? No, I don't think he won. I think he won the right to question why they didn't want to give him security. Yeah, Mara, the royals are pretty much owned by Rothermere. I mean, most of the royal rota are Daily Mail writers. Richard Kay, Kate Manzi, Emily Andrews has now gone back to the Daily Fail, Piers Morgan, Sarah Vine, Angela Levine. Trying to think of who else. Did I say Richard Eden? Yeah, a lot of them write for the Daily Fail, so they are pretty much owned by Rothermere and Murdoch. Yes. SS, you said, wait, what video was it where you pranked the Daily Mail? You have to like go all the way back to my earlier videos. I think it was titled, oh, what did I call it now? It was Why You Shouldn't Trust the British Tabloid Media or something like that. All right, I'm going to leave things there. Thank you so much for coming as always. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And if you can, tune in to watch Harry's talk tomorrow, please do. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Ciao.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna. Promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic.
So do you guys want me to do calls tomorrow?
You deserve the best in life.
Sorry guys, do you want me to do calls tomorrow? It's just I thought that nobody wanted to come up. Sorry. Yeah, let me know if you want to do calls tomorrow instead.